What is up, my beautiful people, for one last time in 2023? You are all very welcome along to tonight's show. One sec. Oh, sorry. I got a message from my daughter and I was worried. It said a friend of my daughter's was messaging and I was thinking, something's gone up, but nah, it's all good. Just a Happy New Year message. But yes, how are we? Sorry about that start to the stream there. I was a bit distracted. I was just going live and a message pops up from my daughter, but there we are. So, for one last time, welcome to the Late Night Agenda in 2023. We have a countdown timer on the bottom of the screen, as you can see. And the most important thing that we can take from today is that Liverpool will be finishing and starting the year on top of the Premier League table after Arsenal got beaten by Fulham. There you go. Arsenal with what I think 1 win in 5, something like that. 3 losses. That's not title form, but we'll show you what title form is. So I'm so happy you guys are in with me tonight. It's been such a weird day. Sitting around all day waiting for the stream. I've never do them this late, so it's been a weird old day. 8:30 and I was itching to come on, but we are here now and we've a lot to get through tonight. We're going to be looking back over the year. We're going to be looking ahead to next year. We're going to be talking January transfer window, which opens up in a few hours. Lots to go through. And as always, I hope that you're all in good spirits. Love from the USA. Happy New Year to all my brothers and sisters around the world. Praying for your health and prosperity in 2024. Thank you, Aaron. And right back to you. And anybody else that's either about to celebrate New Year or that has already celebrated New Year. Happy New Year to you all. And as Aaron said there, health, prosperity and well-being to all of you for what promises to be an interesting year ahead. I've got so much I want to go through tonight, but let's talk whatever you want. Whatever you want to talk about tonight, that's what we're here for. I could go through my notes, but let's be honest, it's party time. So let's get stuck into it. I've loads I will go through. Like, I'm going to tell you again that Wataru Endo has more Premier League goals than Anthony this season, which is a lovely stat, isn't it? You know, our little defensive midfield maestro is out doing the €100 million flop from Ajax, but sure, nothing new there. Mark said, I want to wish all of you a Happy New Year. 2023 has been a big one for the channel and 2024 will be even bigger. Thank you to Craig, Connor, Ben, Adam and all the mods, members and subs. And I echo everything Mark has just said there as well. Ben is currently over in Estonia at the minute. He just sent me a message. They've already celebrated New Year. They're 2 hours ahead over there. So he's out celebrating at the minute with family and friends. So yes, we're good. Loads to get through, lads. Loads to get through. But, you know, I just want to talk top of the league. And I don't mean the channel. I mean the fact that the Reds are top of the league. We love that. Arsenal doing their best to make sure that we're in this title race. Anything you want, Craig. I have a wine in hand and a freshly cooked pizza. I'm easy. That sounds like a pretty good day to me, Aku. Glass of wine, pizza and friends. That's a pretty good evening, my man. So yes, we are here to celebrate. We're here to talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about, from food chat to football chat to laugh at Arsenal chat to laugh at United chat. Let's chat. I just want to reply to my daughter really quickly. Hello, Sean. Just on stream here now. No, it's not Sean. It's not Sean. It's Jack. It's Jack. 1 second. Let me just delete that. Delete for everyone. Sorry. Hello, Jack. Just on stream here, my man. Thank you so much. Same to you and your family. And I hope you all have a good night. Right. 900 plus watching. Smash it. Like, I know. It's like 10:30 at night. We already have nearly 1,000 people in the stream. I thought we were going to have a few hundred only. So we will celebrate together. And let me know what you're doing. Where in the world you're celebrating. Who you're with. What you're drinking. What the food situation's like. And how bad of a hangover are you going to have for tomorrow's game against Newcastle? Obviously, I'm not going to be drinking tonight, so I'm going to be clear-headed and ready to go. Last thing you want is a hungover Craig, because trust me, a hungover Craig is useless. Not that the unhungover Craig's much better, but there we go. Right, Craig, I've my 3-piece suit ready. Oh, I love that. We love a 3-piece suit, Omar. Honestly, I do. I do love a 3-piece suit. I don't look like it, obviously, but I'm one of them people who wants to put my fingers in the waistcoat, you know, and kind of stroll around like I'm some Billy Big Bollocks. Craig, who's your favourite all-time Liverpool player? So, for me, it's always been Robbie Fowler. I've always said that. Robbie Fowler has been my favourite. So, I've got a bit of Fabio Carvalho news. Are you ready for what could be an exclusive? or a bit of an exclusive. So I was told earlier on two things. Firstly, I was told that there was a report that Carvalho was actually at the City ground last night. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't. But I've also heard today that apparently that could be where Fabio Carvalho is going to be going on loan for the remainder of the season. Obviously, with Nuno Espirito Santo now the Nottingham Forest coach and the Portuguese connection there, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. It would also be a very good move for him. Ironically, Leicester City, their rivals, are also being linked with a move for Carvalho. But what we do know for certain is that Liverpool have cancelled his loan spell with Leipzig, and he's going to be coming back. Now, I know a lot of people want him to play when Mohamed Salah's at the AFCON, but then he wouldn't be able to go on loan. You can't play for 3 clubs in the season, so if he did play for Liverpool, we wouldn't be able to loan him out. So it is going to be a loan for Carvalho. And as I said, I think from what I'm reading, it could be Forest, which would be very interesting. And look, we seem to, I don't know why or weirdly, but we seem to get these Fabio Carvalho stories. We were the first ones to announce that Liverpool were going to be signing him. Kind of fell into our lap, to be honest with you. And then today, just about an hour ago, I got that little bit of information. And as I said, don't take it as gospel, but it'll be interesting to see if it has any truth to it. Happy New Year from Aussie. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that, my man. Mahmood said, started watching your channel after your hilarious reaction when Liverpool won 9-0 against Bournemouth. I have to say, what a lovely content and channel. That's lovely, my man. Thank you. I love to know how people came and found the channel or what made them stick around. Usually it's the community, it's the people in the chat. And yeah, usually there's a funny reaction to something or something I've lost the plot about, mate. But you've been a great addition to the family, my man, and thank you for being with us. Canada is in the house as well. Mario, how are you, sir? Hoping to smash Newcastle tomorrow. Yes. Pranav, wow, thank you, man, for the super chat. You're very, 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 very kind, sir. Said, hello, Craig. Happy New Year to everybody. It's your birthday. Oh, Pranav, happy birthday, sir. Pranav, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Pranav. That's my Simpsons effort there. You know, the one where Michael Jackson was in it. Yeah, that's my effort of that, Pranav. I'm lonely, but you guys make my day. I don't have much else in my life other than Liverpool. A win versus Newcastle will be perfect birthday present. Well, I hope you get that win as well, mate, for multiple reasons, but obviously, my man, having you with us, and you've been a long time viewer of the channel, dude, so I really appreciate your support. Thank you. And I hope 2024 continues to see you with us in our community, and obviously continues to see the Reds doing well, and I hope it's a prosperous year for your good self as well. Same to you, your old lady. Again, I'm not even going to try to bring out my Irish, mate. It's shocking. Cúpla Focal is literally where I'm at. But yes, Happy New Year to you as well, my man. Zoldberg, how are you, sir? Said, Happy New Year to the Liverpool family. Such a good feeling to be top. Hope FSG strengthen Klopp with a good signing so we can keep up the momentum. Also hope Klopp and Pep figure out a way to score against low blocks. I echo every single part of that sentiment, my friend. Or that sentiment. Yes. So, big game tomorrow. But I'm confident. Like, Newcastle are never easy. But they look fatigued and tired. And if Liverpool don't take some, I guess, encouragement from the results of Arsenal over the past few days, or the past few weeks, which have been shocking, you know, they've handed us back the advantage and the initiative in this title race. So I want us to take full advantage of that. And strengthening in the January market is certainly part of that. Love your content and Happy New Year, said Harry. Thank you, Harry. You're very kind, mate. Appreciate you. And again, thank you for being with us. So look, loads of news to get through. The Carvalho stuff we've gone through. Have you guys seen the new Liverpool home shirt that has been, I want to say leaked because Footy Headlines put it out and then it's been leaked by some others as well. It's not great, the home shirt, and there's a bit of sacrilege with the badge. I don't know if you've seen it. So the Liverpool badge got the liver bird and then it's got a kind of embossed YNWA behind it. I don't like it, but we'll get you an image and bring that up on the screen soon as well. Can I give you a shout out? Absolutely, Home 123. It's been a journey. It has been a journey, my man. It has, but hopefully for the better. Do you think we'll make a signing? Honestly, I'm on the fence. I think I'm on the fence because I haven't really heard too much. So I don't want to give anybody false hope. I'm hoping we bring in a centre back, and I think it might come down to if anybody else goes for Inacio, you know, like we did with Diaz when we brought him in. I wonder if it'll be the same type of thing, because Real Madrid are obviously looking, Arsenal are looking, Spurs I think are looking as well. So that could be an option. But I hope so. I hope we bring somebody in, because we need somebody. Josh Brayshaw, welcome to Anfield Agenda Ultras, my man. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Hope to see you in our Discord group soon. Don't forget as well, tickets are on sale for the big one. The World Tour! Yeah, that's what I'm calling it now, by the way. I've decided. It's only one stop in one city, but I'm calling it a World Tour. So yes, Anfield Agenda World Tour in Boston, 22nd of March. House of Blues in the Foundation Room there. Hope you can come and see us. Check out Ticketmaster if you do want to come to the World Tour. Did I mention I said World Tour, even though it's only one place, but it's still a World Tour in my eyes. Happy New Year, Craig, in the chat. Thank you, LFC Mule, as well. Roger, how are you, my friend? He said, Inacio and Robinson on loan, please. So I watched Robinson against Arsenal earlier on, and again, he looked very bright down that left-hand side. I hope there's some truth to that link, because he looks like an exciting player. Now, I'm not saying he's the perfect fit. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. But I can see why we're linked with him, if that makes sense. Josh is also gifted an Anfield Agenda membership. Thank you, Josh. You're very kind indeed. Happy New Year, Uncle Craig. Oh, thank you very much, Thasfin. Appreciate you, my man. Happy New Year to you as well. So who's already celebrated New Year? Who's a little bit ahead of us? I know we've got some friends, obviously, in Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand. You guys are all ahead of us, right? Anybody around Eastern Europe as well, Estonia, that part of the world, you've probably celebrated and are ahead of us as well. And then we've got our friends, of course, over in North America and Canada who are, well, they're behind us by between 5 and 7 hours. 17 minutes left. 70 minutes left for a couple of people. Sweden's in the house as well. Mahmood, you've already celebrated. Well in. Dewey said, when do you expect Robertson back? Probably late January, mate, from what we're seeing. I don't want to give you a definitive date because I don't know one, but he's not close. That's one thing I can say at the minute, I think. Jumpman45 in Finland. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. South Africa's in the house. Do you know what? We're very blessed with South African Reds that watch the channel. It's one of the highest viewed parts of the world for us, which always surprises me. It goes UK, I think it goes UK, USA, Ireland, South Africa, and then it's either India or Malaysia, something like that. Hello, and look, I can't respond to everybody in the chat that's saying Happy New Year, but I tell you what, lads, there's 1,400 people in with us to celebrate New Year's Eve. You guys are absolutely outstanding. Thank you. 2024 is going to be the year of Anfield Agenda, isn't it? We're going to take over this year. We're by the way, also, we're only about 110 or 120 subscribers away from getting towards 234,000. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do, my friends. Brian is in the Jesus. How are we, Brian? All the way over in Boston, but 5 hours behind us. So quite a while left before you celebrate, sir. But he is gifted. I'm not going to do the not one, not two, because I'll be here all day, because Brian has gifted an amazing 50 Anfield Agenda memberships. Brian, thank you so much, my man. That's absolutely amazing. JC, if you shake a fake salt shaker on your tongue, you can actually taste it. It's so weird. There's a few weird things like that. You know, like if you put your finger on something cold, you can sometimes feel like it's hot if your eyes are closed. There is a few things like that in the human body, mate, that do confuse me at times. But I'll tell you what, when we're over having that very expensive steak, when we go out for a little date over in Boston, JC, we'll put your theory to the test. I love the international fan said again, look, we've always kind of pitched ourselves as a bit of an unofficial international supporters club. That's the way I think of our community anyway. Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Mr. Pixelated. Appreciate you, sir. Mr. Pixelated could have been my name in the early days of Anfield Agenda with some of the dodgy webcams I had back then. Mr. Pixelated again, thank you so much. Thanks for the consistency. You know what? I was only thinking about that very point earlier on. There's not many things in life that I would say that I've been consistent or hardworking in. But this channel, not that it's hard work, because it isn't, but it's been something that I very seriously, and I very much appreciate people being here. So that's why I want to come on as many times as I can. Davino, thank you, sir, for gifting a membership. Looking forward to meeting your good self as well over in Boston and at the Anfield Agenda World Tour, which we're calling it now, by the way, for those of you who are in late. Messi or Ronaldo? Come on, dude. The answer is Messi. The answer is always Messi. Did you guys see that the Argentinian FA have said that when Lionel Messi hangs up his boots for Argentina, they are retiring the Argentinian number 10 shirt? Big call, because they didn't retire it, of course, after the Diego Armando Maradona, but they are indeed going to retire that shirt now after Lionel Messi, which, look, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because retiring numbers in football is kind of a relatively new thing, but, you know, they have to mark it somehow, because, I mean, how blessed have Argentinians been with number 10s there, like Maradona and Messi. God, could be worse. No Tony Cascarinos and Niall Quinns over there, I tell you. See you in Boston, said Mr. Pixelated. I'm going to get my update on tickets. We get an update from Ticketmaster every week, so I'm looking forward to the new update to see if anyone's been lying about buying tickets, because I'm hoping we've shifted a few more this week. There's nothing scarier than going to a city you've never been in before, trying to sell a show, not really having a clue if anybody in the city even knows who the hell you are. Draughty, there he is. Evening from the Baltic, cold in Latvia. Fuck you! No, you're not getting any sympathy from me, Ben. Over in Latvia on holidays, and he's, oh, it's so cold. Come on, Ben. You're over there with your wife and family, dude, celebrating. You look beautiful where you were as well. So, yes, much love to you, my man. And I hope you're having a wonderful 2024 so far. It seems as you are, like, time traveling a little bit, Ben. You are ahead of us now. What else have we got? Craig, do you think if Madrid and Mbappe, if you think, no, we're going to start that again because I've absolutely ruined your comment there. Pankaj said, Craig, do you think if Madrid add Mbappe and Alphonso Davies this summer, they will have undisputedly the best team in Europe? Yes, I do. Like, how could I argue against that, mate? You know, they have Alphonso Davies, if they had Mbappe, if they have Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, it's Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Modric, Kroos. It's ridiculous. And I know that the latter two are coming to the end of their time, but yeah, that's just crazy. Gonna go out and celebrate New Year. Happy 2024 from Norway. Thank you, James, as you should, man. Get out there, celebrate. So, does any other countries have the tradition that my grandmother used to do with me, which was to go outside and bang pots and pans at midnight? I never got that growing up, but my grandmother, I used to spend a lot of time in my grandmother's house because my dad worked late at a nightclub occasionally. So I used to spend time with grandmother, especially New Year's Eve, you know, that'd be a busy time in the nightclub, and she'd bang pots and pans. I've always heard of the opening the front door to let the old year out and the new year in, but the banging pots and pans stuff, I don't know, does anyone else do that? Brevois. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Grandmother used to go out and bang wooden spoon off pots and pans, and so did everybody else in the estate. Did I see Fulham versus Arsenal? Weird. I got the second half of it, mate, yes. And I was pleasantly surprised at the result. I got a great bet up today. £3. I turned it into £100 from a three-part bet. I was very happy with that. Next year, me and my autistic son want to visit HNY. What's HNY? Am I really dumb here? HNY. I don't know what HNY is. So, excuse my stupidity. I'm obviously missing something really, really obvious. But I don't know. What's HNY? I don't know what that is. But I hope wherever it is that you do get to visit it. What did you bet on? So, I'll show you now, actually. So, I had... What was it? Where's it gone? I had Heung-min Son to score at 6-5. Then I had both teams to score in over 2.5 goals in Arsenal against Fulham. And then I had a 4-part bet builder for the Baltimore Ravens against the Dolphins, which was Lamar Jackson to throw over 2 touchdown passes, Zay Flowers to score a touchdown, Tua to throw 1 touchdown pass or more, and Odell Beckham to have a reception of over 12 yards. So yeah, all of that combined up made me just over £100 from my £3. Do I think Darwin is overrated? No, because most people don't seem to rate the kid, so... No, I think if anything, it's the other way. I think too many people write him off and underrate him. Rachel, thank you so much, Rachel. Rachel's gifted 5 Anfield Agenda memberships as well. I mean, we're already What, we're only a few minutes in, we've already had 75 quids worth of super chats in and loads of gifted memberships. Oh my days, what a start to the stream. Can we have this like next year, all the way through? Craig, love the streams, been here since Napoli 2018 and love to drop in and watch. So I feel like around that time we were playing Napoli so often. Like we were over in Tampa, myself and Connor, a few years ago, and we were playing Napoli over there for a Champions League game. We played them in pre-season. There was this little period of time where I feel like Liverpool were playing Napoli 2-3 times a year. Have you made much betting? Do I keep track? So this year I haven't really kept track because I haven't done too much, to be honest with you, because the channel's taken up most of my time. But since I start betting, I did keep books. Yes, I did keep track, and I've done quite well over the years. I've had every year I've turned a profit, but over the past week I've had a really good run. I think I've made about 1,300 quid this week, which is very unusual, by the way. The bookies always win, so I'm not trying to say anything else. The bookies always win in the long run. But yeah, I've had a good week. Oh, HNY means Happy New Year. Of course it does, duh. This is what I said. I'm obviously stupid. No, because this person said, my wife's already slagging me. This gentleman said, myself and my autistic son hope to make a visit this year, HNY. So I thought it was a place name I was missing out on. See, I'm not that silly. Oh yeah, oh I am. So here's a few examples of my stupidity. I didn't know that Banoffee got its name from banana and toffee. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until about 4 years ago. 2 years ago, okay. I also didn't know that Amex and American Express were the same thing. I didn't know that either. I only figured that out when I was watching Brighton at their stadium going, oh, Amex is American Express. Welcome to my brain. The most obvious stuff doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Ryan just saying Europa League. Are we just naming tournaments, mate? World Cup. Your go. My wife said Champions League, Ryan. She's raised the stakes. It's over to you now, bud. Where's the leaked kit? 1 second. I'll grab you some of these images. Because Connor sent me a load of these images today for the leaked kit. So bear with me 1 second. Oh, it's such a perfect day. Right, so there's 2 parts of this leaked kit I want to show you, right? 1 second. So here's part 1. So that's the jersey, right? Which, you know, you can make up your own mind. See, CONCACAF, Premier League, Conference League. I love that this has now become a game. So here's the new shirt that's apparently been leaked, right? But there's another part I'm going to bring up in a minute that I want your take on. I think that shirt's pig ugly because look at the state of the collar. That collar makes no sense to me. None. I don't know what they're trying to do with it. So that's one of the images. But this is the part that really irked me. This. So there's the crest. Now, I don't like that there's an embossed "You'll Never Walk Alone" behind the Liverpool. That seems blasphemous to me. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'm all for having designs in a shirt and stuff, but no. Bad Nike. No Nike. That's not for me. It just feels a bit weird. You know, between that and the upside down, or not upside down to be honest with you, 45-degree rotated Nike take on the away shirt for next season, it just doesn't make sense to me. So a lot of people want to talk about OLISE, and don't worry, I got you. Don't worry, we are going to talk about OLISE. I'm not going to just give you blue balls. Bear with me, we will get there. So, it's the collar for me on that shirt that I don't like, because it doesn't go anywhere. You know, it doesn't come down and join another part. It's just 2 weird lines that I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I'm getting too excited now. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, OLISE. Cool. Let's talk about OLISE. No problemo. So, Football Insider have said Liverpool are monitoring Crystal Palace forward Michael Olise ahead of a possible move in the transfer window as Jurgen Klopp eyes further reinforcements. Now, it doesn't say what transfer window, but I did do a little bit of digging. So Olise had a £35 million release clause in his contract. We found that out last summer when Chelsea, and I always thought it was Manchester City, that's how off the boil I was, but Chelsea tried to trigger it and he chose to stay. He signed a new deal. All I was able to find out was that his new deal does indeed have a release clause in it, but it doesn't come into play till next summer, but I don't know what that release clause is. So I don't know the number of the release clause. But the release clause only comes into play next summer. So that's where we're at with Olise. And I tell you what, I'm all over it. If Olise is the target, sign me up. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm all over that. And I think, do you know what? We'll get a poll on that. Would you be happy with Olise? And I'm going to gather that this is probably looking at a long-term Salah thing, but I don't really want to drag Salah into this conversation. So I'm just going to ask, would you take Olise? Oh, it's such a perfect day. Right, my friends, that poll is now live in the chat. Would you take Olise? A bit of yes or a little bit of no? I've missed something here, I fear. I fear I've missed the super chat. 1 second. Where's this one from Brian? Happy New Year to you, Craig, Connor, Ben, and the entire Anfield Agenda community. Thank you, Brian. I don't know where that super chat went, mate, but it never actually came up here on my side. But I was able to get it from the top, so thank you so much, Brian. And much love to you and the good lady wife and the pug as well. I don't know your pug's name, though. That's on me. Sorry about that. Make Rachel Todd a mod. She deserves it. Absolutely agree. Rachel, can you just type anything or throw a burger emoji into the chat for me, please, mate, so we can make you a mod. Just make it easier for me to catch your comment. Aku, member for 1 month as well. Thank you, mate. Robert Cosby said, Happy New Year, Craig, to you and the boys. Big fan of your channel. Provides plenty of laughs and hilarious moments. Long may we reign on top. You're very, very, very kind, mate. Thank you so much for that. And long may we reign on top, mate. Yes, long may it happen. I know I wasn't expecting to go into the new year on top because I thought Arsenal would beat Fulham. But I love it. And I love knowing that no matter what happens, we're top. But we got to go and we got to make sure that we beat Newcastle tomorrow and consolidate the slip-ups that Arsenal have had. And I want to just... I've got beef. And you know me. I'm usually very reserved in these matters. But I've got beef. So, Catherine Fitzgerald, thank you so much for the super sticker. Catherine, Happy New Year to you and your family, my friend. And Ryan White said, only way Nike make up for them kits is by signing Mbappe. Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. You've got me. I'm on board, mate. You've charmed me. So, as I said, I've got beef with Sky Sports Soccer Saturday. So, they were doing the rewards today. And they were asked, who's the best keeper in the Premier League in 2023? Or either for the first half of this season. And they came to a conclusion that the answer was Vicario of Spurs. Tim Sherwood somehow found a way to try and shoehorn Emi Martinez in there. But let me just put this right for the good people at Sky Sports Gillette Soccer Saturday. The answer you were looking for is Alisson Becker. You are very welcome, but you cannot have a conversation about the best goalkeeper in the league and not put Alisson Becker top of the pile. Most clean sheets, top of the league, and the best keeper in the world. And I have to sit here paying 200 and something quid a month to Sky to listen to these Cabbage Patch Kids tell me that somehow Vicario is better than Alisson Becker. No, I'm not having it. It's nonsense. Alisson Becker's number one. You can argue about number 2, 3, 4 and 5, don't care, but Alisson's number one. That really annoyed me today because these are professional pundits paid for their expertise and opinions. And they haven't got a clue between them. It's ridiculous. Like, I get it, Vicario's a good keeper. Very good keeper. Made a good impact on Spurs. But Alisson's the best keeper in the world. And Alisson has the best record. He's the best keeper. End of the conversation. John Power, thank you, mate, for the super sticker. Europe is the only cup we need, is what I was saying. Europa's the only cup we need. That makes sense. That would be a delicious end to the season, mate. But I wouldn't mind a double. If you'd excuse my greed, Ryan, I wouldn't mind a double, mate. A Europa League victory in Dublin, coupled with doing good for the world of football and stopping Manchester City and their 115 charges from lifting a fourth consecutive Premier League. Because, again, I feel like I'm calling out Sky a lot today. I'm getting sick of seeing these shows about how great they are and everything they've achieved. They're cheats. That's all they are. Until those 115 charges are cleared, they're cheats. So everything that they've won is irrelevant for me. Joe Gomez, our new Milner. Do you know what? I like it. I like where you've gone with that, Curtis. You're right. Joe Gomez's versatility has been tremendous this season. To see him play at right back, left back, right wing back, centre back, of course. And he hasn't really put a foot too wrong. There's a couple of occasions I think Joe Gomez does ball watch a little bit, but his versatility is phenomenal. And there was some talk of Spurs being interested in him yesterday or the day before. And it would just be stupidity for Liverpool to even consider it. And I don't really particularly care what the number is, because having somebody like Joe in the team where, you know, maybe he won't be a guaranteed starter in one particular position, but that versatility is so important. You know, we'd be screwed now if Joe wasn't around. Having no Costas, no Robbo. Chambers obviously a little bit too young. It'd be mental. There you are, Rachel. Thank you. There you go. See, the burgers work. The burgers always work, Rachel. And there we go. And thank you, Rachel, for all of your help, mate. You've been fantastic with the channel. Really appreciate everything you do. Happy New Year, you and Duncan. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Mark, Chief Mod, he's always looking out for me, Mark. He said, Craig, and he says it nicely. He doesn't go, Craig, you big dope. HNY means Happy New Year, obviously. How'd you not figure that out on New Year's Eve, dude? But yes, thank you, mate. Oh, look, a United fan in the chat trying to banter us. The state of it, mate. The state of it. You coming in trying to banter us. You fucking dream about drawing with the likes of Luton, mate. You just got whooped by West Ham, who we beat 5-1. Come on now. You don't know what a win is, mate. So don't be coming in here talking about Liverpool, banter club. Most successful club in England, dude. And at least we have a manager who knows what he's at. And our 100 million signing's usually quite good. We have a defensive midfielder who scored more goals this season than your 100 million euro star from Ajax. So how about holding that L for a little bit, my man? But okie doke. I know you probably had a few sherbets a little bit too early in the day for you, but don't be coming in with that silliness, mate. We're trying to enjoy ourselves here. Naheem Ricketts, thank you, my man. Very kind of you. Appreciate the sentiment. What did I have for supper? Nothing yet. I don't eat till about 1 a.m. So I've had coffee, water, and one bit of fudge today, actually. So Elise, where are we at? The poll for Elise. Would you take Elise? We've had 600 and something votes, and we are up to 84% saying yes, which is kind of what I expected, to be honest, because the dude looks like a proper baller, and he's come back from that injury and is doing really well at Crystal Palace. And as I said, for those who were coming in late, all I was able to find out on Elise with regards to the new contract he signed is that there is a buyout clause in there. It doesn't come into effect until next summer, and I don't know how much it is. But Liverpool were linked today by, where was it? Who was it that was linking us again? Football Insider said Liverpool are monitoring Palace forward Michael Elise ahead of a possible move in the transfer window. Should have some truffle. Oh, I've got some truffles. Don't you worry about that, mate. There'll probably be a truffle shuffle at some point as well, but I do have some truffles. Happy New Year from Slovakia. Thank you, Vlaki. Appreciate that, my friend. Happy New Year to you as well. What's the clause? I don't know, Wesley. I don't know what the amount is. I haven't been able to figure that one out yet. The old one was 35 million, so he's obviously signed the new one. The transfer window opens at midnight, Leon. Transfer window opens at midnight, mate. Elise, Inacio, and we win, said Russell. Russell, me and you have disagreed respectfully on some stuff, mate, but I'm with you completely on that one. That would be a brilliant bit of business there on both fronts. Yeah, I'm all in, Russell. Douglas Luiz. Did you not... Well, you probably didn't see this, mate, but Douglas Luiz is a fine footballer. But Aston Villa, and I shit you not, because this has been put in the media, Aston Villa value Douglas Luiz at 100 million. 100 million. So I think, much like Jared Bowen yesterday, where we'd seen the figure being mentioned for him at 100 million. Nah, good player, but nowhere near that level. Carvalho may be in a deal for Palhinha. So what I heard today, and I'm not saying this is set in stone, but I heard a little inkling today that Carvalho will be off to Forest to work with Nuno. Somebody said that there's a picture of him going around at the City Ground, or somebody'd seen him. I haven't seen it yet, but somebody did say that to me today. Keep an eye on Nottingham Forest, that Carvalho could be going there on loan. Obviously the Portuguese connection there with Nuno. What do you think next about VAR? I hate it. I hate VAR. And I was for VAR when it came in, but it's getting worse this season. I think we're going to get... Somebody pointed in the chat the other day and said, what's going to happen is a manager's going to take his team off the pitch after one of these decisions. And I think that's probably about right. Because if I was Jurgen and what happened at Spurs happened to me as a manager, I can't in good conscience sit here and say I wouldn't walk off the pitch with the team, because it's just blatant stupidity. It's just ridiculous. And to see the penalty incident with Odegaard as well, that still boils my blood, because we should be even further ahead of Arsenal now. We should have a stonewall penalty. Ali, Trent, Ibu, VVD, Gomez, Endo, Szoboszlai, Jones, Mo, Gakpo, Darwin versus Newcastle. Don't want to risk Jota yet. Thoughts? I totally get where you're coming from about Jota, but I do want to play him. So my team, if I remember it correctly, was Alisson, Trent, Kanade, Verge, Gomez, Endo, Elliott, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota, Darwin. If I remember correctly, that's the predicted 11 I went with. So I don't think we're too far apart, really. You've gone for Jones instead of Elliott, and you've put in Gakpo instead of Diogo. And I totally get your thinking, Pranav, on Diogo, because the last thing we need is Diogo to get injured with Mo going away. But it is also a pretty big game, and then after that we've got an FA Cup week, so I'd play him, personally. VAR doesn't ruin football, people do, said Ben. Yes, and people in particular being the Omadons at the PGMOL and their little band of merry morons. Get Firmino back. So the only Premier League link for Bobby Firmino had been to Sheffield United. There's links to him going to... Where was it? So I know there was another club... El Ettifaq, the club that Stephen Gerrard manages. There's been a link for Bobby to go there. There's been a link for him to go to Turkey, I think. And then there's been a link for Sheffield United. I thought he might make a little return trip to Brazil, maybe. Bobby finish his career over there. But let's wait and see what happens. I don't think he'll be coming back to Liverpool, though. Apart from to sign the book, which he's coming back for. Sarah said Happy New Year from Kosovo. Right back to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you and your family as well. Do you guys have any family traditions around New Year? Oh, that's my wife. I'm literally just picked a random comment out of the chat and it's me missus. Yeah, I do, Sabrina. I have a great New Year's Eve tradition about getting ahead every New Year's Eve. It's really important to me. It's part of my family's heritage and cultural institutionalism. You know our New Year's Eve tradition, Sabrina. It's always been the same. Be big, boring arseholes. Stay inside and watch Jules Holland's Hootenanny. That's been our New Year's Eve tradition since we've been together, pretty much. We've always watched Jules Holland's hootenanny. We've always done it. Genuinely, that was so freaky because I didn't even look at the name. I just grabbed the first comment I seen, and it happened to have been from my missus. Bosnia is in the house. Hassan, how are you, sir? Welcome in. With Thiago and Bajcetic potentially becoming available, doubt that we're getting midfielders. Well, Thiago is going to be as available as I am, which means he's not going to play much and he'll pick up another injury. Bajcetic is nowhere near being available. And I don't disagree with you about the lack of us getting a midfielder. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think we really need one. If Klopp feels that he's got the number 6 sorted between McAllister and Endo, I'm with you. I don't think we need another midfielder. But OLISE, I think, is a great option if Mo is going to move on. Thoughts on Sepp van den Berg? So, Omar, I got to be really honest with you, dude. I haven't really kept track of Sepp van den Berg's loan spell. I know he scored against, I don't know if it was Bayern or Dortmund, one of them. But I haven't kept track of him. So I don't know what the plan is there with Sepp van den Berg. I really don't. Do I rate Joe Bellingham? I've not watched them. Mate. So I know I've seen Jude say that he's probably better than him or will be better than him. I honestly haven't seen much of him. New manager gone in though at Sunderland, so I don't know. I try and keep an eye on him, but the truth is I've not watched them really. I was only had eyes for one Bellingham. Do you think we should play with a 4-2-1-3? Depends who we play against. So a 4-2-1-3 kind of means that we're wanting to sit a little bit deeper, which I'm okay with. You know, a 4-2-1-3 is something that I could absolutely see if Trent's going to be the second player in that, so part of that too. And then I'd have Gakpo as the one, maybe. But then what are you going to do with the likes of Szoboszlai, Jones, Elliott? I'd probably rather a 4-2-3-1 with Salah up top, playing as that lone striker. I think if Mo stays, and I don't know what happens there, but if he does stay, I think putting him central is the next obvious step. You know, I've said this for years now, but when a great player like Ronaldo, Messi, Mohamed Salah, when they get older, they have to redevelop the game a little bit and change how they play. Harry Kane, kind of similar as well, in the way he changed his game around a bit. I think Salah through the centre is definitely an option. I know, he's also sent me a message on WhatsApp. Sabrina came in to say, Adam's in the chat. Adam.
Well, you missed all my chats. So.
It's because I'm sick of talking to you, love.
Yeah, me too.
There he is in the chat. Forever United TV. Do go over and give Adam a sub as well. What's up, Craig, lad? Hope you're well. I'm tickety boo. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year, mate. Hope you and the family have a great night. Same to you, Adam, and to your family as well. And to that beautiful new kitchen of yours. Adam was living on a building site for a while the kitchen was being done, so I'm glad you got it done for Christmas, my man. And yes, Adam, of course, a huge part of the plans moving forward with top of the league as well. Oh, and on top of the league, you big losers, you big audience losers, we beat you this week, so 2024 is going to be the year of team top of the league for the predictions, because, well, we let you get ahead of us because we wanted to give you a head start, but take that L and hold it, because we won this week. Why is my name in green? You got gifted a membership. That's why. We've had lots of gifted memberships today. Brian gifted 50. JC gifted some. Rachel gifted some. Davino gifted some. So you were gifted a membership. Just in there watching the last leg. Beer, food, and Sinead is tired. Hello to Sabrina. Hello, Dave. Over in Galway, Dave. How are we, sir? Please do pass on Happy New Year to Sinead and to your good lady wife as well. Yeah, and the last leg, you got to get on Jules Holland's hoot and Ainey, mate. That's my tradition. Is Brian a millionaire? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. I know he's a very nice man because I've had the pleasure to meet him. Apart from Bowen, who should be Salah's heir? Well, Bowen's out the window, Jack, because if that 100 million price tag that West Ham have put in his head is true, forget that. So the answer is Elise. And looking at the poll here, has it had 1,000 votes yet? Yes, it has. So with over 1,000 votes now, you guys have said 83% said yes, they would indeed take Michael Elise at Liverpool. And I'm very much part of that 83%. Hope you have an amazing year, Craig. Here in Kosovo, it's New Year's. I know you're a little bit ahead of us, so Sarah, Happy New Year to you over in Kosovo as well. And to anybody else that's a little bit ahead of us time-wise. Those in Central Europe and stuff, Happy New Year. People who are in Asia, Happy New Year. People who are in Australia, New Zealand, Happy New Year. People who are in America, you've got a while left. You've got a while to wait. You're going to Paris in 7 hours. Oh, yes. Well, in Blaze. As you can see from our countdown clock, it's in yellow on your screen there. We've got 42 minutes and change to go till New Year's. 30 million for Bone. I wish. 100 million is the number that's been mentioned, which is crazy. So, Arsenal's last 5 results is not the results of somebody who's going to be in a title race. So they lost to Aston Villa. They beat Brighton 2-0. Then they drew with us 1-1, and we should have had a penalty, so they shouldn't have even had that. Then they got beaten 2-0 by West Ham, and today they got beaten 2-1 by Fulham. So Arsenal are, 4 points from a possible 15. That's not really title form. And of course, this comes fresh after Sky Sports and Paul Merson predicted that Arsenal win the league because Declan Rice, and he's going to be the difference maker. And since that, they've lost 2 games in a row. So Merson, you keep that up, sir. You keep predicting Arsenal and keep ignoring Liverpool, and we'll just go ahead with our business, top in the league, you know? This is what we do. Let's be honest. Is anybody surprised that it's going to come down to us to try to keep City honest? Is anybody surprised that it's going to come down to little old Liverpool to try and put some respectability to the Premier League again and have a proper title race with Manchester City? Because we're the only ones able to do it. Let's be honest. We're the only ones able to actually put it up to Manchester City. Everybody else pretends, has little boosts, little sections, and then they just fall away. Takes a real team to go all the way. Takes a real team to push them that distance. So, you're welcome, Premier League. You're welcome. Once again, Liverpool doing what's right. Stepping up, trying to keep the league honest. It's the history of North London. Yeah? And every year we have to listen to this same garbage. Oh, are Spurs going to be title contenders? No, they're Spurs. Of course they're not going to be title contenders. Oh, Arsenal will do it this year. Oh, and they might, but, you know, they also might do what they're doing now. And I have a lot of respect for Arsenal. And I think they're a good team. But you can't be getting beaten at home by West Ham and then following it up with a loss to Fulham if you want to win the Premier League. Would I swap Diaz for Leao? Oh, God, yes. I think everybody in the chat would probably swap Diaz for Rafael Leao. Original treble or Europa quad? Original treble. Original treble. Look, if you have a European Cup, an FA Cup and a Premier League, wow. You know, that's amazing. So, yeah, you go with the original treble. But, you know, I'm probably the only one who's going to say this, but I really don't give a shit about the FA Cup this year. I don't really... I'm more concerned about the game against Arsenal in the league in February than I am about the FA Cup game. I really don't care too much about it, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't want us to lose, but I don't really care if we do too much because, you know, we've got a 2-legged semi-final of the League Cup. We've got a knockout stage of the Europa League coming up, and we won't know our opponent yet because there's still the knockout round that has to be played. And of course, there's a league title race. And in that league title race, we've already been to the Etihad. We've already been to Spurs. We've already been to St. James's. We've already been to the Amex. We've already been... Where else have we been? To Stamford Bridge. So we've had some difficult away games played this season, and we're still top of the league. But what I would say, to kind of put a bit of a warning on that, is we're going to need to up our points tally for the second half of the season. Because 84 points if you multiplied it up, is not going to win you a league, I don't think. I think Manchester City will only get better. But what I'd also say is we usually get better in the second half of the season ourselves. So I'm expecting I'm expecting us to be a bit better. And I think, I'm not going to say I think we will win it because I don't know. But I think we're going to be the ones closest to Manchester City. Whether that's above or below, time will tell. Craig, you're the best Liverpool fan in the YouTube community. Happy New Year. Thank you, Blaze. Appreciate that. So, did anybody, who's on Twitter or X, did anybody see the little call out that that guy Matt did for Goldbridge? Did anybody see that on Twitter earlier on? A guy called Matt, who's a Manchester United fan, put up a little ranting video about Mr. Goldbridge. And I very much agreed with everything he had to say. So well done, Matt. I don't know the man, never spoke to him. But I have a feeling this year is going to be a year that he's going to learn a couple of lessons. Do I go to GAM? Do you mean games? Not as much as I would like to, mate. No, I don't. I hope to get over to one, well, over the next couple of months, to be honest. I'm penciled in to go over with the guy who owns Oosh. I just don't know which game yet. So, yeah, it's kind of, I won't say it's a downside of running the channel, because there is no downside to running the channel. I love running the channel. But, you know, if I go to a game, it's a good chunk of money lost, and it's wages lost, and it's sponsorship income lost at times. So, it's tough. It is tough. Even the Europa League final in Dublin, I won't go to it, because I feel like I'd be abandoning everybody. And I probably could get a ticket to it if we got there, in all honesty. But I don't want to go, because I want to be with our community, and I want to do a live show in Dublin, and I want to have a big watch along together, and I want to celebrate with the Anfield Agenda community. So, yeah, there's ups and downs to it, but that's one of the downs, I guess, but that's all right. Goldbridge is getting more complaining and moaning. Look, it's New Year's Eve, so I'm going to be a bit open about everything. I won't be able to tell you, and I won't tell you why Adam and Ben left the United stand. They will tell you when they're ready. But what I can say to you is, I can talk about why I left. When I joined That's Football, and you all seen that I left and walked off a stream, and I took all the grief that came away from that. But what people didn't see was the reasons why I did that. So people will go, oh, he was being petulant, blah, blah. No. What I found out very quickly was that only one person is in any way important over there, and that's Goldbridge. I didn't have moderators. I didn't have ability to moderate chat. He's an arsehole. He's not a nice guy. He's, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, he's not sincere. I still have valid questions about if he is even a Manchester United fan, and to be honest, if you ask my opinion on it, I'd probably say I don't think he is, because I have information that shows very strongly that he probably isn't, but I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say that. But what I'll tell you is, he fucked with the wrong person when he sent solicitors' letters. And he's going to learn a lesson. And I've told him this for a long time. Keep my name out of your mouth. You met somebody who isn't afraid or isn't scared of you or isn't going to bow down to your nonsense. I warned him all along that it will come. And it will come. Because he fucked with the wrong person. And he's going to have to learn that. And I'm not talking about any physical altercation. I'm not that type of guy. But I don't bow down to his bullshit. He's not going to threaten us with solicitors' letters and think that I'm not going to react to it. All because he lost two of his guys. He lost two of his guys because, well, quite frankly, in my opinion, the contracts they signed aren't worth the paper they're written on. Because they're nonsense. And more stuff, I'm sure, will come to light in the next few months when Ben and Adam are ready to talk. But I'm just glad to see people are starting to see him for the real person that he is, which isn't a nice guy, which isn't a welcoming, friendly guy. He is in my opinion, a fucking narcissist. That's my opinion of him. And I don't begrudge him his success because he works hard. And I've always said that about him. Say what you want about him. I think he's an asshole, but he works really hard. Fair play. I've never brought his family into it, and I never would, because that's out of bounds. That's nothing to do with it. But I tell you what. Imagine sending solicitors letters because you lost 2 people. Now, don't look inwardly and ask why I lost the 2 people. Just go straight to threats, and straight to accusations, and straight to lies, and straight to bullshit. The only problem he's found now is that I don't particularly like solicitors. So he's probably picked the wrong guy to try and intimidate with solicitors' letters, because I think they're ambulance chasers. And I don't hold them in high regard. Particularly the idiot of a solicitor that he actually got to send the letters, because, well, they've opened themselves up to even more problems now by trying to intimidate us. And it isn't going to happen. And it isn't going to work. I've told loads of things that he says behind the scenes about us, about other people. I know lots and lots of things about him. And he's just not a nice dude. That's all I'm going to say for now. But anyway, we are where we are. Where are we? Letters for what? Surely you guys get in trouble for 2 people leaving on their own account. I can't tell you what the letters say, because I've promised Adam and Ben that I will not talk about why they left until they're ready to talk. And I won't, because I want to keep them protected, and I want to keep them happy. But him and that other little weasel that licks his arse and runs around after him really need a wake-up call and a dose of reality, because the real world isn't inside his head. The real world's a very different place. Did you hear City made a signing? Yes, Omar, I did. A guy from River Plate, and I don't know anything about the kid, but I read an article last night that said that River Plate and their players are pretty annoyed about whatever this dude did to get the move to Manchester City. I don't know what it was. I don't know anything else about it. Other than they're signing another kid from River Plate. That's all I know. Thogden. I don't know Thogden. So, I've had one conversation with him on his channel. I did the prediction show. But I'm not here to talk bad about him either, or anybody else. Just this one particular man just thinks that he can do what he wants. And somebody eventually had to stand up to him, and I'm the guy that's going to stand up to him and tell him, you can't do what you want. Love Adam and Ben. They're with us now, said Keen Core. Yes, and the most important thing is they're happy. They're happy. So, again, lots of stuff happened, particularly around Ben, by the way. Ben's been through a lot. And I'm proud enough to have Ben as a friend. And I kept in contact with him behind the scenes while he was going through what he was going through. And it wasn't easy for him and his family. So I'm glad that Ben's feeling more like himself now and is happier. And I'm seeing my friend back, the friend with his personality the way it should be. Happy, optimistic. Yeah, it's good. Opinion on how crazy good Lamar Jackson is. Oh, Danny, I was watching the game earlier on, and I think it's fair to say going into the game, it was not a pick 'em game, but it was a close game between Miami and Baltimore. But my God, Lamar Jackson just destroyed Miami. Look, I'm new to the NFL. I'm not going to try to profess to be clever or anything, but if he stays fit, surely they have to be the favourites to go and win it all. I know they've clinched the top seed, so they've got the home tie through the playoffs. But he's ridiculous, man. He's so good. Stabby Life 246. A blessed night, Craig. Best night, Craig. Good doesn't like ugly when you're religious or not. Keep the faith and belief moving. And Elise and Bone help us through Salah in a different way. Salah is more assisting. So I'm not religious, my man. But of course, what I always say is whatever brings other people happiness, belief, solace, I'll support you in that. And if you're a religious person, I will defend your right to have those beliefs to the end, mate. So yeah, thank you. NFL, not my cup of tea. So I didn't used to like it, but now I love it. In the last 2 years, I've really gotten into it. So again, this stat, with Toro Endo having more goals in the Premier League than Anthony, is one of my favourite stats of the season so far. That's crazy. Anthony cost, I think, about €100 million when he hasn't had a goal yet in the Premier League this season. Is it true City may not be able to play Champions League next season because something to do with Pep's family managing a different team or something? So, I think what you're talking about is Girona. And Manchester City, I don't know if they own all of or a good chunk of Girona, who are either top or second in La Liga. From my understanding of it, from what I've read, it would be Girona that wouldn't be able to play in the Champions League next season. That's all because of the multi-ownership structure thing, or an owner having two teams. But look, Red Bull found a way around that with Salzburg and Leipzig. They renamed Leipzig, I think it was, to Rabsenspal or I don't know, I can't pronounce it, but there is something there. And I think, is Pep's brother the managing director or something of Girona? Abubakar, and I do love that name, by the way, mate. I do love the name Abubakar. I think it's one of the most beautiful names. Honestly, it's an amazing name. So Craig, honestly, love the streams. Have a very good year. Hope you keep it up the Reds. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. You four work very well together. The 3 channels will soar in 2024. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've got really high hopes. Adam's channel's doing really well. He's doing great since he's been able to concentrate on it full time. And Forever United is, I think it's going on to big things, because Adam's a very knowledgeable football fan and I think and a very nice guy. So I expect his channel to do really well. Top of the league, it's exciting. I can't wait. I hope, we're chasing down that silver YouTube play button for 100,000, and hopefully we can get it in the next year and a bit. City Football Group own 44.3% of Girona. Thank you, Mark, for sending me that. Who have City signed? Some kid from River Plate. That's all I know. I really don't know. I don't know anything else about it. I only read a little tiny bit on it last night. So, again, we can confirm that Leicester want to sign Carvalho on loan after his return from Leipzig. Liverpool did cancel down that loan. What's interesting to say is that I don't think he plays for Liverpool, because if he plays for Liverpool, to the best of my understanding of the rules, he couldn't play for 3 clubs in a season, so we couldn't loan him out. Because I know a lot of people were thinking maybe we hang on to Carvalho till towards the end of the January window to help beef up the squad a bit with Mo and Endo going away. And then we couldn't loan him out. So I think it's going to be a direct loan. And as I said, I was told something about Forest earlier on. I don't know if that can come to that, but with Nuno going in there, it's easy to make that Portuguese connection. Even Jose said the league is out of City and Liverpool when asked about Arsenal. He said Arsenal, no chance. He knew. Look, I don't mean to be disrespectful to Arsenal because the job Arteta is doing and what they're building, it is very impressive. And it is, it's being done in the right way. So I don't mean to mock Arsenal because I've nothing but respect for them. But I do think they're still a little bit away because I don't think it's not that they don't have good enough players. It's that I don't think they have the muscle memory. And then if you take into account that this year they're back in the Champions League, they're going deep in that competition, I think it'll start to take its toll. And I always thought that the likelihood of them dropping away was there. But also, to be honest, I didn't think we'd be in a title race. If you asked me back in the summer, I would have thought this was not a rebuild season, but make sure we get top 4 and see what we can do in the Europa League season. But I also said, and I said this after Manchester City hadn't even dropped a point yet, you can go back and look, I don't think this is the same City team, and I think somebody has a chance to win a league this year. And that's why I'm so concerned about the January window. Because I think City will only come back stronger next year. Like, look at what happened to us when we were trying to get a quadruple. The next season, we were horrendous. We were so behind and it took ages to get going. And I think City are there. But I think next year they'll be back. So that's if they're not chucked out of the league, of course. But I think somebody has to capitalise this season. And I hope John W. Henry feels that same expectancy or possibility. Because again, we only have confirmed 2 more seasons of Jurgen. This idea of building has to end. Win. And win now. Win when it's there in front of you. Win when the opportunity is 100% there. Which it is now. Half the season's gone and we're top of the table. So I hope Jurgen gets an addition or 2. I hope we get a bit of luck with injuries. And I also hope we never, ever have to deal with Paul Tierney's bullshit ever again. Because the statistics around him refereeing Liverpool games are disgraceful and something needs to be done about it. Whether it's conscious or unconscious bias or dislike, the stats are damning. We're signing nobody, wake up. I mean, Alex, I don't know if you're right or wrong. I don't know the answer. But I'd ask you not to be so negative about it because I'm not particularly fond of our owners, mate. I'm not. And historically, Jurgen isn't a big fan of doing stuff in January. Last year was an exception because we had to move. And I wonder if the Inacio situation might cause us to have to act again. Because Madrid need a centre-back. Arsenal may need a centre-back. And I want to say Spurs with the other club linked. So I don't know if we're going to be forced to act. And also, the Matip situation. So, one of the questions I had at first about Inacio was, why did we sign him in the summer? It would be stupidity to sign him now. You probably heard me say that about 50 times. But the Matip situation may have changed things. Because he's got 6 months to go. He's out of action for probably at least 9. So, we're not seeing him back before his contract expires. And people say, give him another deal. And I understand why they say that, because Joel's been a good servant to the football club. But sentimentality is not going to win us anything. So I think the way things have panned out, maybe now we go get that centre-back, because we can't rely on... Well, we just don't know when Joel will come back. Like, we could say 9 months, but then will it take him another 3 months to get up to speed? And then half of next season's gone. So yeah, I wonder will we have to act now? Xavi Alonso for manager. Well, I think we'd all love the idea of Alonso maybe taking over after Jurgen leaves. I don't know what happens, you know. Bayern, Real Madrid, Liverpool will be the 3 candidates you'd probably look at. Did Ancelotti sign a 2-year deal till 2026 as well? So, I don't know. Craig, please tell Ferdinand, who was the best defence in the league, I don't believe it's Arsenal anymore. So I kind of secretly love Arian when we're being written off or we're not being talked about. Like, let them keep talking about Arsenal. Let them keep bigging everybody else up. Great. We just go about our business, and by the time they all look up, which is where they have to look at the minute, hopefully we're off in the distance. Like, what gives me optimism is we're better in the second half of the season historically. And, you know, to be top of the league with 42 points isn't great. It's not a great points tally. And I think to win the league, we'll probably need to pick up at least between 48 and 50, maybe 51 points in the second half of the season. And we need to cut out some of these silly draws as well. Michaela Drury, thank you for joining Anfield Agenda Ultras, Michaela. Really appreciate you. Will McAllister be available tomorrow? So I'm trying to remember back now. I think he is. So the last I remember, Jurgen was saying on Friday in the press conference that he hoped to train on the Friday, which was the day of the press conference. And if he wasn't back for Newcastle, it'll 100% be the game after Newcastle. But I think he could be in the squad. I don't know if he starts or if he's named on the bench, but he's really, really close now. Giovanni said, I love Joel Matip, but he's injury problem, so let's move on and sign a young centre-back. So I also love him, and I think Joel Matip will go down as one of the best free signings we made ever. But I don't do sentimentality, and I want us to win. And I think it's common sense now to move on from Joel. Help him rehab, support him all the way, of course. But like ultimately, we need to look ahead. Screw Tierney and Coote, VAR are match fixing, said Ryan Johnson. They're so it's so disgusting, Ryan, that I can't believe it's allowed to happen, mate. That's how bad it is. Like, I'm sure you've probably seen Paul Tompkins' brilliant article with all the statistics to back up everything that explains it way better than my dumb ass ever could. But I can't believe that we aren't getting towards legal cases at this point. Like, it seems like they're going out of their way. Like, they put Tierney in charge of more of our games than any of the other referees. Tierney he's so clearly anti-Liverpool in his refereeing. Whether it is conscious or subconscious, I don't really give a shit because he's terrible. And look at last season when... Was it last season? Hang on. Season before. The Rodri and Everton handball. Who was the referee or the VAR for that? Coote was, or it's not Coote. Tierney was there somewhere, not given that blatantly obvious decision. And every time I'd go as far as to say Atwell and Coote are anywhere near Liverpool, things tend to go a little bit south for us. Will we beat Chelsea and break the draw curse? Yes, because it's at home. Looking back on that game, Harry, at the start of the season, honestly, I think a draw was a fair result. We had the much better first half. Chelsea came back a lot stronger second half. So I thought that was a fair result, in all honesty. But yeah, I think we'll beat them to the League Cup as well. Who's a better manager, Wenger or Klopp? Really difficult to compare because they're slightly different eras, although they overlapped a little bit. I would say that you'd have to edge Klopp because of a European Cup success. I know that Arsene Wenger won a lot of league titles and had an invincible season. But Klopp's done it in multiple leagues now. He brought Dortmund to a final. And yes, Arsene brought Arsenal to a final where they were beaten by a very good Barcelona team. But I would edge Klopp. But I would say Arsene Wenger had a huge impact in European football, in the professionalism of the English game, in changing attitudes around fitness, dietary. So I don't want to underplay Arsene Wenger because I have nothing but the height of respect for Wenger. And I, to this day, will never, ever, ever understand those Arsenal fans who didn't appreciate what they had with Wenger there, even to the end, where they were every year moan, and he had them in the Champions League every year. Now, granted, that was kind of where they were bobbing up and down around, but I mean, look back at the year since he's left and how many times they haven't been in the Champions League. KK said welcome, or didn't say that, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. It's a close one because Arsene's a great manager, and as I said, it's tough to compare eras, but Arsene didn't have to go up against Manchester City and all the shenanigans around that, but he did have to go up against Mourinho at Chelsea and Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, who were a powerhouse and very dominant. But I don't know, for me the deciding factor is the European Cup. That's the deciding factor for me in Jurgen's favour. De Bruyne back for City will make a big difference to their title charts. It depends what Kevin De Bruyne shows up. Like, remember before De Bruyne got that injury that's kept him out, he was starting to have more and more injuries. Now, I don't know if it was the same injury and he's had an operation that maybe cures all of that. I don't know. But he's also getting on in years. And he's going to have to get back into a rhythm as well. So I don't know how strong of an impact De Bruyne is going to have, but you'd always prefer to have Kevin De Bruyne in a squad than not have him in the squad regardless. Do you think Chelsea get Osimhen in January? No, I don't. I don't think they'll pay the buyout clause. And I hope that they don't, because I don't know where the hell they get the money from. Because he signed a new deal at Napoli. Was it 100 or 120 million euro buyout clause in it? Where Chelsea have no right to be able to spend that much more money again. I mean, I'm sick of it. Caicedo, Enzo, that's like two in excess of 100 million players. Nkunku, like, it's getting ridiculous. They spent over £1 billion. So they shouldn't be able to sign anyone, in my opinion, let alone Osimhen. And if I'm Victor Osimhen, why would I go to Chelsea? Like, you would have probably a pick of, I don't know, 3-4 top clubs around Europe if you really wanted to, if you really push for it. You know, and only the old curse of the striker at Chelsea as well. I don't think I'd go near Chelsea if I was Osimhen. Mary said, Sabrina, you, Craig, seem very fond of Connor and look out for him like a big sister and big brother. We think of him like family. Absolutely. Yeah, Connor, 100% think of Connor like, I'd say, a little brother. Because he is a wonderful father. So yeah, we're very fond of him because he's a really good lad. Caleb said, Klopp has won 2 league titles in his managerial career. Both times he's won them, he had a Japanese player in the squad. Kagawa and BBD and Minamino. Endo could fulfill the prophecy. I like where you've gone with that, Caleb. I like it. Craig, with Liverpool not in the Champions League, who do I hope wins the Champions League? Ooh. By the way, we are 10 minutes and 19 seconds until 2024. Who do I hope wins it? Well, the Barca fan in me doesn't want Madrid to win it. Barca aren't going to win it. Manchester City, well, you know what I'm going to say there. Arsenal, be really interested to see Arsenal go all the way. I wouldn't begrudge them it. I don't think they will, though. I don't know if Bayern are really strong enough to go all the way. They said they have some frailties, albeit they have a very good squad and a natural goal scorer in Kane. So I'd love an underdog story. I'd love somebody we don't expect to go and win it. And maybe you could put Arsenal in that category because I don't think anybody really expects them to win the Champions League. PSG won't win it. They're crap. I'm struggling outside of Bayern, Manchester City, and Real. If I'm really honest, I think the winner comes from one of them three. Do you think the Prem is slowly becoming a farmers' league? It's hard to answer that question without showing my disdain for what Manchester City have done. So, I think yes, but I can't really give you a fair answer until we know what happens with Manchester City. Because if they are held to account and those charges are proven and whatever punishment happens, then I think the league becomes more competitive again. What I don't want to happen is people to become desensitized to what they've done to get to where they are and fall into the trap of hearing, but we're sustainable now. Don't care. How did you get to now? What did you do on your way to winning and to be sustainable and to attract the sponsors, the players and all the stuff? So, and do you know what gets me the most about the whole City thing is how arrogantly defiant they've been despite the mounting evidence. So, like, I'll tell you what I'd like to say against that. I don't really think about it if it becomes a farmers' league or not, but what I do think about is what we've all been potentially denied. So, maybe United could have had another league title. Liverpool certainly could have had a league title or two. So when I think about what's happening with them, I think about what we've all been denied and what celebrations people have been potentially shafted out of because of their ways and because of what they've done. And that's what annoys me more than anything, because that's time nobody can get back. Those years under Jurgen, we ain't going to get back. So we've had a generational manager up against potentially the biggest sporting cheat story in the history of football. Potentially, because it has to be proven. Who's worse, City or PSG? PSG, I think. But I don't think either of them are ever going to convince anyone that they can generate the money to do what they've done organically. My beloved Kate and I are up in my log cabin. Wish you all a happy new year and success in football. A big up to everyone who knows what banter is. Oh, shots fired there by Yansky Poo. Shots fired. Yes, happy Christmas and happy new year to yourself and Kate up in the cabin. I don't know where to go with the rest of the statement, dude. So we have 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes left of 2023 before a new year starts. And hopefully we have some more titles to look forward to by the end of the season. If United fans were in our situation with Pep, I can guarantee they would be in our position. It's really annoyed me how people dislike Liverpool and our fan base so much that they were almost egging on the cheats and the cheating and turning a blind eye to it all and just saying cry more and all this other stuff while we were being shafted left, right and centre. And I think people are starting to maybe question a few things now and wake up a bit more. Maybe it's because Arsenal are coming to a title race. There seems to be a little bit more momentum now for that accountability to finally catch up with City. Bowen or Wirtz to replace Salah? So Wirtz would be the answer, but I think OLISE is probably the most likely answer, particularly after that story from Football Insider today that said that Liverpool are looking at OLISE. They actually said Liverpool are monitoring Crystal Palace forward Michael OLISE ahead of a possible move in the transfer window as Jurgen eyes further reinforcements. Jens gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Jens. Appreciate that. How many tattoos do you have? Don't know, because I don't know how you count them, because they're sleeves, half sleeves. So yeah, I don't know the answer. Am I watching the countdown on BBC One? No, I have a little countdown on my screen here, as you can see in the yellow. Connor set it up. We've got 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go until we are into 2024, the year of Anfield Agenda. Do I hope we sign Sané? I don't want Leroy Sané anywhere near Liverpool at the moment, thank you. Craig, PSG are the most overrated team in the world. I saw people rank top 10 teams in the world and they had them in 9th. I don't know how either. I mean, I think for all the players they've had, the money they've thrown at it, it's been an unmitigated disaster in all honesty. Will Mo be available for the Arsenal game away in the FA Cup? No. This game against Newcastle tomorrow is the last game Mo and Watoro will be here for until after those tournaments. They're heading off to join their international teams. So yeah, unfortunately, after tomorrow, we've got to do without the boys till whenever the tournaments, whenever their countries exit or win the tournaments they're in. The year of title number 20, said Malcolm. Abso-bloody-lutely. I hope so. And by the way, we've got 1,500 people in the chat and we've only got 600 likes on New Year's Eve now. Come on. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Please do hit the subscribe button as well. 2024 is going to be the year we hit 250,000 subscribers at some point as well. Let me just check in on how close we are to going up another one. So we're only 85 subscribers off 234,000. So if you haven't yet subscribed and you're in the chat, please hit that subscribe button now as well. See if we can make that tick over into the new year. New year started an hour ago, nothing new. Well, it did for you guys, but over here in Ireland land, it doesn't start for another 2 minutes and 11 seconds, Jensk. I haven't done my first fart of 2024 yet, bud. What do I think of Gibbs White? I don't really think much of Gibbs White. Like, as in, I haven't really given him much consideration. I mean, he scored the winner against United, so we'll give him props for that one. If I remember correctly, I think it was him. Beanie, Happy New Year to you as well, mate. But we're not quite there yet. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds. So do hit the subscribe button. Do drop a like, because we're still only at 700 and something likes, and there's nearly 1,700 people in the chat. So we know you can all take 1 second to hit that like button. Eat broccoli or support City. I'd rather eat a mountain of broccoli than be lumped in with that lot. Thank you. How many subs you gain? Oh, I don't know, mate. Where are we at now? We are at 233,914 subscribers exactly. Nui Osmani, we've got 1 minute to go, by the way. Said, Craig, Happy New Year. Hope your family are safe. Arsenal drop points today. Let's hope Liverpool does the job tomorrow. Hope you reach 240k subs soon. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate that. And don't forget, tomorrow we'll be live from 7 for the watch-along of the game against Newcastle. But we are 40 seconds away from 2024, where I am anyway. OLISE or Pedro Neto? Oh, OLISE, definitely. I can hear some fireworks going off outside as well. We're getting close. What have we got now? 19 seconds. Nearly there. I'm still reading the comments, sorry. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, wife. Why have you got clothes on? See, I've done the opposite to what I normally say when you come in. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Spreen. I love you. Box Will, gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Will. Happy New Year, everyone. We've made it. We are here, 2024. And let me just check something really important. Yeah. I can confirm we are still top of the league, yes. We are still top of the Premier League in 2024. Happy New Year, Lucas. You going to say Happy New Year to everybody? You can speak. You don't have to come on if you don't want. Okay, don't speak then. There's loads of fireworks going off around here. That's class. Which is weird considering fireworks are actually illegal here. Unless you have a license. So yes, Happy New Year. We've done it. 2024. Liverpool top of the league. Happy New Year. Thank you, Brian. Happy New Year to you as well. Mr. Danielson. Happy New Year. I know some people have already celebrated it, and I know our friends over North America as well haven't even got there yet. You've got a few hours still to go, but we've done it. We've all survived it, and I think 2024 is going to be a massive year for the football club, hopefully for our community, and hopefully for my family as well, because 2023 has been a weird old year, but we're going in the right direction. 2023 will always be the year I went full-time in making content as well. So yeah, that's all because of you guys and your support, so thank you so much. It's nice to have a little reflective moment, isn't it? At the end of one year and the start of another. Just to take stock of everything that's happened, because God almighty, years fly by. Is OLISE injury prone? You know what, mate? I haven't looked into his injury record. Truly don't know. I know he was out, obviously, as was Eze, but OLISE is back and back to scoring. Happy New Year. Everybody in the chat is saying Happy New Year. Thank you, and Happy New Year to all of you. And to all of Team Anfield Agenda, to Connor, to Ben, to Adam, of course, on his new channel, Forever United TV. Happy New Year to those guys. Happy New Year to everyone that's contributed to the chat, to everyone that's been part of our community, whether you're new or whether you've been around a long time. We wouldn't be a channel without you, so thank you. Louise, Happy New Year from Liverpool. Thank you, Louise. Happy New Year to you and your family as well, my friend. And thank you for your kind super chat, mate. I hope you're enjoying the first 2 minutes of the year. I always think about who's the first baby born of 2024, because I don't know if it's the same in whatever country you guys live in, but over here, you always find out who the first baby of the year is. Always the national broadcaster, RTE, always let you know. I think it's Liverpool's year to win the league, said Harry. Fingers crossed, dude. Fingers crossed. Is Maka back soon? Absolutely, mate. Yes. Might even be tomorrow. But if it's not tomorrow, it'll be the next game. He was very close. Klopp was seeing if he trained on Friday or not, but he's right there now. Transfer window is now officially opened. Why haven't we signed anyone yet? FSG out. Hashtags everywhere. Why haven't we signed anyone yet? Come on, John. Where's the money, John? 2024 and we're still waiting, John. But don't worry, I'm going over to Boston to find John. Going to track him down and say, look, mate, I'll take over from Michael Edwards. You may not have seen my FIFA streams, John, but sit down with your good lady wife when you have it some time, watch the Anfield Agenda FIFA streams, and you'll see that I'm more than qualified to step into the role vacated by Michael Edwards. And also, don't forget, if you are in that part of the world, we are live in Boston on March 22nd. The Anfield Agenda World Tour that has one stop, and that's Boston. But it's still a world tour in my eyes. Who do you think is the best Liverpool player this season? Alisson. That's my answer. Alisson, Mo, Verge, Trent. In no order outside of Alisson. Great international support here. Yes, we're very blessed, team. We've got people from all parts of the world, mate, that drop in and out of the chat. So let me know, actually. Let me know where in the world you are right now and what you're doing, who you're with, what you're drinking, what you're celebrating, and what your plans are, maybe if you're in America and you haven't yet celebrated. I always love to know where you guys are watching from. England. There we go. I'm in Boston until March 17th, bummed, but I'm going to miss out by a few days. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't get over for Paddy's week, mate. It was just too crazy to try and get that week, so we went with the next week, but appreciate the thought anyway. Kildare's in the house. Nice. Where else we got? California, Brandon. Very jealous that you're over there in California, mate. Netherlands. Nice, Jack. Well in. England for Harry Price. California for Jean. Loads. A couple of Californias in there. County Clare for Ryan. Peterborough, of course. Peterborough's in the house. We love that. New Mexico. Wow. Well in. Meath. Reading. LA. Some of these places are making me very jealous. Heavy Metal D is in Boston, UK. Middle East and Bahrain for Mahmood. Nice one, buddy. Oxford for DCR. Spain for CD Salva. Israel. Well in, mate. Dubai. Lovely. Wallasey. Nothing wrong with it, mate. Nothing wrong with it. Namibia. I've nearly gone to Namibia before, actually, on a safari. Yeah, I was very close to booking Namibia. Australia's in the house, lovely. Northampton, Dan, how are you, mate? Germany with Nui. Saudi Arabia for Iban, well in, my friend. South Africa for Carol, welcome in, Carol. Dublin, never heard of it. Never heard of it, Adam. Denmark, John, welcome in, my man. Norway's in the house. Wrexham, Canada, Birmingham, Northern Ireland, what about you, lad? Brummy, how are we? Your average Chad, welcome in. Perth, Australia, lovely, welcome. Botswana, Texas, oh, I gotta get to Texas. It's definitely on my to-do list. Wales, Kimru is in the house. Toeswar, welcome in, mate. Belfast, one of the most beautiful parts of our beloved island. I love Belfast, Mary. Love going to Belfast. Jamaica. There's always a couple that make me really jealous. Anfield for Neil, nice, well in. Leicester, welcome in, my man. Belfast again for Spirit Switch. Norfolk, not Virginia. Norfolk and way, mate. I had to, sorry. Jansk's moved the cabin. Jansk's gone from Norway to Ethiopia. Jeez, Jansk, that cabin here has moved very quick. Nova Scotia for Troy, welcome in. Limerick's in the house. How are we, mate? Haven't been down to Limerick in a long time. Norway for Thoblum as well. Cornwall, Bucharest, Romania, Florida. John, I know Florida very well. I hope to be in Florida in October. So anybody that is in Florida, actually, I'm trying to get an Anfield Agenda show when I'm over there. So we're looking for some venue ideas. So if anybody has any shouts for venues in Florida around the Orlando, Tampa kind of neck of the woods, let me know, because we might be having an Anfield Agenda team trip over there. Now, if we do, I want to do a show while we're over there. So, yeah, all suggestions greatly appreciated for the Florida one. Brighton, Loughborough. Why do I know Loughborough? Is there a training centre or something in Loughborough? I'm fairly sure there's a centre of excellence for some sport in Loughborough. I don't know why else I'd know about it. Glasgow's in the house with Stuart. How are you, mate? Brighton's in the house as well. When does the window close? I don't know. I don't know if it's the last day of January or the first day of February, mate. Argentina, beautiful. Hong Kong, lovely. Sweden as well for LFC Plix. Welcome in, my friend. Happy New Year to you all. Mullingar, sure don't I know it well, mate? I know it very well. My wife's parents used to have a mobile home down in Loughnennel, so we used to be down that neck of the woods quite a bit. It's the University of Sports Science. There you go, Stuart. I knew there was something big up in Loughborough. Jordan, welcome in. Adib, welcome in, my friend. New Jersey, nice. Well in, Eric. Cyprus is in the house as well with Lucas. Sweden for Martin. How are you, Martin? London for Michael. Nigeria, welcome in, praise it. Tipperary, nothing wrong with it. Home of Bulmers. Blackpool. Actually, weirdly, I've got a stat about Blackpool, which is a mad one. I'm glad you brought up Blackpool. So, Anfield Agenda is about as big as just between Milton Keynes and Blackpool for population. So our subscriber number puts us just in between Milton Keynes and Blackpool in the UK for subscriber numbers, or what would be the population of those towns. I actually looked that up earlier on because I am that pathetic. And also, I live in Wexford, which is a county in Ireland. Wexford has 166,000 people in the county, so we're also bigger than Wexford. These are some useless bits of information. Phoenix, Arizona. Nice, Dean. I would imagine, buddy, it's probably a lot warmer where you are than I am. Portlaoise is in the house. Dodger, how are you? Eastbourne. All I know about Eastbourne is a tennis tournament, Finley. That's all I know, is that Eastbourne hosts a tennis tournament. Near Wimbledon for Finty. Nice. Liverpool for Rachel Todd. Norway again for Emil. Welcome in, Emil. Atlanta, Georgia. Home of Coke and Chick-fil-A. And also the hub for Delta. Because every time I go to Florida, we end up going through Atlanta. So yeah, I got my first ever Atlanta United shirt, actually. The first year that they were a club. So yes, I know all about Atlanta, Georgia. Never been outside the airport, but I've been in that airport about 5 times now. Joe, thank you, mate. You're very kind. Joe said, Craig, you're the best. Thanks for everything. My pleasure, Joe. Appreciate you. Morocco's in the house. Cameroon. Been to Wexford, Waterford and Carlow. Nice. Well, I live in Wexford, so Waterford's just down the road. And Carlow, I used to live right beside Carlow. Happy New Year to you and the family. Thank you. I have family that live in Wexford, said Dan. Nice. It is a beautiful part of the country, mate. Honestly, I love living in Wexford. Tenerife. Sweet. Nice. Coventry. Miggy Almiron, United legend. Yes. I remember that team. And Joseph Martinez as well up top. They played some ridiculously fast counter-attacking football. And every time we fly over to Atlanta, I take a photograph of the Mercedes-Benz Arena when we're flying over it as well from the plane. New Ross. I said, Jesus, Philip, you're only down the road. You're even closer to Connor. Connor's only about 15 minutes away from New Ross. Kenya. Trevor, how are you, mate? Lots of love to you as well. Limerick's in the house with Stephen O'Sullivan. South Carolina. Belfast. Widnes. Australia's in the house as well with Dimitri. Welcome in, Dimitri. Nathan O'Hanlon in Wexford. Finest part. Can't beat the old Wexford Strawberries, mate. Have I ever met any Liverpool players? Yeah. None of the current lot, but I've met Smeetzer, Cisse, Hamann, Garcia, Carragher. I think if there's any more. I don't know if there's any more than that, but yeah, I used to do some stuff with the former Players Association when they came to Ireland. I would help them promote the shows, so I was lucky enough to meet a few of the ex-players. Tullamore, nice. Right, my friends, I'm going to say goodnight to you all and go celebrate with my wife and my son. My daughter's just sent me a message as well. She's out in the pub, so she's celebrating with her boyfriend and her friends. So look, tomorrow, 7 p.m, right here, the Reds start the season, or the new year, top of the league. Hopefully tomorrow night we can beat Newcastle and extend that lead at the top of the table. Until then, thank you so much for spending New Year's Eve with me. You guys are amazing. Lots of love to all of you. Please do hit that like button before you head off, because we're really close to 1,000. So if you hit the like button, we can get there. Can't not have 1,000 likes on the New Year's Eve stream. And yeah, tomorrow. See you then, 7 o'clock. Much love. Bye-bye.